Ladies and gentlemen, there's an undeniable power in letting go, in trusting something bigger than yourself, in surrendering to a force that's been orchestrating your life from the very beginning. This force is what many call God. It's an intelligence that exists beyond time and space, a field of energy that is constantly moving in ways we can't always understand. And today I want to talk about trusting that force, trusting God's plan. In life, many of us have a tendency to hold on tightly to the things we want to control. We try to orchestrate every aspect of our existence, from our careers to our relationships to how we think life should unfold. There's a deep belief ingrained in many of us that if we just work hard enough, think long enough, and plan far enough ahead, we can control every outcome. But this need to control often comes from a place of fear of the unknown, fear of failure, and fear of things not going the way we expect. And it's that very fear that can leave us feeling exhausted, frustrated, and drained. You see, the constant need to control life is exhausting because life is inherently unpredictable. No matter how much we try to control the outcomes, there will always be variables outside our grasp. There will be unforeseen events, other people's choices, and the natural flow of life that we simply cannot manipulate. Yet when we operate from the belief that we must control everything, we end up in a cycle of stress and anxiety, always trying to push against the current of life rather than flowing with it. It's a recipe for burnout. What if, instead of clinging tightly to our need for control, we could let go? What if we could trust that there is a higher intelligence guiding our lives? This intelligence, often referred to as God, the universe, or the divine, is far greater than we can comprehend. It operates in ways that are beyond our immediate understanding, orchestrating events and experiences that may not make sense in the moment, but are all part of a grander plan. Letting go of control is not about giving up or becoming passive. It's about surrendering the need to know every detail of how things will unfold, trusting that you are being guided, supported, and led in the right direction, even when you can't see the bigger picture. When you let go of control, you create space for new possibilities to emerge. You open yourself up to the wisdom of the unknown. Suddenly, life begins to flow more easily, not because challenges disappear, but because you are no longer resisting the natural rhythm of life. You are aligning with it. The universe or God begins to work through you, and you become a co-creator in your own journey, rather than trying to force everything into a predefined box. The surrendering doesn't mean you stop taking action or working toward your goals. It means that while you take inspired action, you do so from a place of trust rather than fear. You let go of the need to control every outcome and instead align yourself with the belief that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when it doesn't match your expectations. You take each step with faith, knowing that life is leading you towards something greater than you can currently imagine. By letting go, you allow the universe to take over the details, and often what manifests in your life is far greater than anything you could have controlled or planned. It's a process of surrendering to the flow, of moving from a place of fear to a place of trust. And in that space of trust, you find peace, clarity, and the ability to move through life with a sense of ease and grace. In life, we often view challenges, setbacks, and obstacles as negative experiences, something to be avoided, fixed, or overcome as quickly as possible. When we encounter difficulty, our immediate reaction is often to question why it's happening, to feel frustrated, or to assume that life isn't going according to plan. But what if I told you that these very challenges are not just random occurrences, but essential parts of your personal growth and transformation? What if every setback is actually part of a bigger plan designed to push you toward becoming a better, more evolved version of yourself? Challenges are part of the process, not an interruption of it. They are a necessary ingredient in the journey of becoming who you are meant to be. Think about it, diamonds are formed under pressure, and so are you. Growth and transformation do not occur in moments of comfort or ease. It's in the moments of adversity that we are tested, and through those tests we develop strength, resilience, and wisdom. Without the challenges, we remain stagnant, stuck in our old patterns, and unable to fully realize our potential. Often we view setbacks as failures or as signs that we're on the wrong path. But in reality, these challenges are like guideposts, nudging us in the right direction. They are not random or meaningless, they are placed in our lives with purpose. When you face a difficult situation, it's an invitation to rise above it, to learn something new, to shed old habits, and to step into a higher version of yourself. In many ways, the obstacles you encounter are actually opportunities in disguise. But the key to transforming these challenges into growth opportunities is perspective. If you view an obstacle as something meant to defeat you, it will likely feel overwhelming and insurmountable. However, if you shift your perspective and see the challenge as a stepping stone on your path to becoming stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self, then that same obstacle becomes a powerful catalyst for transformation. Your mindset changes the way you experience your difficulties. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. The journey to the summit is difficult, filled with steep inclines, rocky terrain, and moments where you may even feel like giving up. But every step you take, every obstacle you overcome, brings you closer to the peak. And when you finally reach the top, the view is breathtaking, something you couldn't have experienced without enduring the struggle of the climb. The challenges along the way didn't stop you, they made the reward even sweeter. In the same way, the challenges in your life are meant to elevate you. They are an essential part of the divine plan, even though they may not always feel that way in the moment. When you trust that everything happening to you is happening for you, you begin to see obstacles differently. Instead of resisting them or feeling defeated by them, you can embrace them as part of your evolution. It's important to remember that challenges are temporary, but the growth they inspire is lasting. You won't be in the same difficult situation forever, but the strength and wisdom you gain from overcoming that challenge will stay with you for the rest of your life. Every setback is an opportunity to gain new insights, develop resilience, and deepen your understanding of yourself and the world around you. So the next time you face a challenge, don't view it as a punishment or a failure. See it as part of the grander design, as a necessary step on your journey toward becoming the person you are meant to be. Trust that the universe or God knows exactly what you need at this moment to grow and evolve. And know that on the other side of this challenge lies a version of yourself that is stronger, more capable, and more aligned with your higher purpose. Stepping into the unknown is one of the most challenging yet transformative things we can do in life. As human beings, we naturally crave certainty and security. We want to know what's coming next, how things will unfold, and what the results of our efforts will be. This desire for control comes from a deeply ingrained survival instinct. If we can predict the future, we believe we can protect ourselves from harm or disappointment. However, the truth is that life doesn't work this way. No matter how hard we try to plan and predict every detail, there will always be elements that are beyond our control. And that's where trust comes in. Trusting the unknown means embracing the uncertainty of life with faith rather than fear. It requires us to let go of the need to know all the answers and instead lean into the belief that there is a greater plan unfolding for us, even when we can't see it. This isn't about ignoring reality or living recklessly. It's about shifting our perspective from fear of the unknown to a deep trust in the process of life itself. When we resist the unknown, we create tension, stress, and anxiety. We become stuck in a loop of overthinking, constantly trying to map out every possible scenario and control every outcome. This need for certainty often leads to paralysis, where we are too afraid to take any action because we don't have all the information we think we need. But the truth is, no amount of planning or analysis can provide us with absolute certainty. Life will always remain unpredictable in some ways, and that's not something to fear, that's something to embrace. The unknown is where all the magic happens. It's in the space of uncertainty that new possibilities emerge, that doors we didn't even know existed begin to open. When we trust the unknown, we open ourselves up to opportunities that we could never have planned for or anticipated. This is because the universe or God often has a vision for our lives that is far greater than the one we hold for ourselves. When we're too focused on controlling every detail, we limit ourselves to what we can conceive of in our current state of mind. But when we surrender to the unknown, we allow the universe to bring forth experiences, people, and opportunities that align with a much higher vision for our lives. One of the greatest challenges in trusting the unknown is the discomfort that comes with it. We're conditioned to believe that uncertainty is something to avoid, that it represents chaos or danger. But in reality, uncertainty is the natural state of life. Growth, transformation, and new beginnings always require stepping into the unknown. If we're constantly clinging to what is familiar, we remain stuck in our old patterns and limited ways of thinking. It's only when we let go of the need to know everything that we can truly expand into new possibilities. Trusting the unknown doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means you take inspired action without needing to know exactly how it will turn out. You move forward with faith, trusting that as you step into the unknown, the path will reveal itself. The universe has a way of guiding us when we trust it enough to take the first step, even when we can't see the entire staircase. This requires a level of surrender, a surrender not of effort or ambition, but of control. When we surrender to the unknown, we're saying, I trust that there is a higher intelligence guiding me. I may not know how everything will unfold, but I trust that it will all work out for my highest good. And time again, when we let go of control and embrace the unknown, we find that life has a way of surprising us. What unfolds is often far greater than anything we could have planned for ourselves. So trust the unknown. Let go of the need for certainty and embrace the mystery of life, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The unknown is not something to fear, it's where the magic of life resides. Aligning with divine guidance is about tapping into a higher consciousness and intelligence that goes beyond the limitations of the mind. Each one of us is connected to this divine source of field of energy that governs the universe, often referred to as God, the universe, or a higher power. This source is constantly communicating with us, guiding us toward the right decisions, paths, and opportunities. The challenge for many of us, though, is not that the guidance isn't there, it's that we've become disconnected from it. We live in a world that's noisy and filled with distractions, and in that noise, it can be hard to hear the subtle whispers of divine guidance. But that guidance is always present, waiting for us to tune in. To align with divine guidance, you must first cultivate a state of coherence between your heart and mind. Coherence is a state in which your emotions and thoughts are in harmony, where you feel balanced, clear, and at peace. This state is often achieved through practices like meditation, mindfulness, and prayer, where you quiet the chatter of the mind and connect to your inner world. When you achieve this state of coherence, you begin to resonate with the energy of the universe. In this state, your heart and mind are open, receptive, and able to perceive the subtle nudges, ideas, and feelings that come from divine guidance. One of the most powerful ways to align with this higher intelligence is by listening to your intuition. Intuition is not just a gut feeling or a random hunch, it's the language of the soul, the way that the divine communicates with you on a deeper level. Often, intuition will present itself as a quiet, knowing a sense that something is right or wrong. Even if you can't logically explain it, it may be a pull toward a particular direction, an idea that suddenly comes to you, or a feeling of ease or discomfort in a certain situation. This is divine guidance in action, gently steering you toward what is best for your soul's growth. Many of us have been taught to ignore or suppress our intuition. We're conditioned to rely solely on logic and reason, believing that if something doesn't make sense on paper, it isn't valid. But divine guidance often transcends logic. It comes from a place of higher wisdom, where the bigger picture is known and where the outcomes we can't yet see are already unfolding. Aligning with divine guidance requires you to trust that inner knowing, even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. The more you learn to trust and act on this guidance, the more you'll find that things begin to flow in your life. Opportunities appear, doors open, and the right people show up. When you align with divine guidance, you also shift from a place of forcing outcomes to a place of allowing. Instead of trying to control every detail of how something will manifest, you take inspired action and then let go, trusting that the universe will handle the rest. You surrender the need for immediate results and outcomes, knowing that everything will unfold in divine timing. This is where the magic happens, when you step out of the way and allow the universe to do its work. Aligning with divine guidance also requires patience. Sometimes the guidance we seek doesn't come immediately. There may be periods of silence, where it feels like nothing is happening, or like we're not receiving any clear direction. In these moments, it's important to remain open and continue to cultivate that state of coherence. Trust that even when you don't see immediate results, things are happening behind the scenes. The universe is always at work, even in the silence, orchestrating the perfect circumstances for your growth and success. So how do you consistently align with divine guidance? By regularly creating space in your life to listen. Whether through meditation, journaling, or spending quiet time in nature, these moments of stillness allow you to connect with that higher intelligence. Pay attention to the feelings, thoughts, and signs that come to you in those moments and trust in their wisdom. Remember that divine guidance is always available to you, guiding you toward your highest potential, if you are willing to listen and align yourself with its flow. Surrendering the outcome is one of the most profound practices in life, yet it can also be one of the hardest to embrace. As human beings, we are often conditioned to believe that success or fulfillment depends on achieving a specific result. We set goals, make plans, and pour our energy into doing everything we can to reach the outcome we desire. While determination and action are essential, the problem arises when we become overly attached to the outcome. This attachment creates tension, stress, and even disappointment, because the more we cling to the result, the more we resist the natural flow of life. But when we learn to surrender the outcome, we allow the universe to work in ways that are beyond our imagination. Surrendering the outcome doesn't mean you stop taking action or give up on your goals. It means that after you've done your part, taken the inspired steps, put in the effort, and followed your intuition, you let go of the need to control how things will unfold. You release the desire for a specific result, and instead trust that whatever happens will be for your highest good. By surrendering, you acknowledge that there is a higher intelligence at play, something greater than your personal desires, and that the universe is orchestrating events in ways you may not yet understand. When we attach ourselves too tightly to a specific outcome, we limit the possibilities of what could be. Our human minds can only perceive a fraction of the infinite potential that exists. We often think that one particular outcome is the best or only way for things to work out, but the universe may have something even better in store. By holding on too tightly, we prevent that greater possibility from manifesting. Surrendering the outcome allows you to remain open to unexpected opportunities, new pathways, and solutions that you might not have considered. One of the biggest challenges in surrendering the outcome is dealing with uncertainty. We like to know how things will turn out. The unknown can feel uncomfortable and unsettling, and so we try to control the situation to get the result we want. But life is full of uncertainties, and trying to control everything is a futile effort. By surrendering, you let go of the anxiety that comes from needing everything to go a certain way. You make peace with not knowing, and in that space of surrender, you find freedom. Instead of obsessing over whether things will turn out the way you want, you begin to trust the process. This trust is crucial. When you surrender the outcome, you're not saying you don't care about the result. You're saying, I've done my part, and now I trust that the universe will guide me to what's best. It's about shifting from a mindset of fear and control to one of faith and allowing. You may still have desires, but you're not ruled by them. You're not living in constant worry or stress about how things will turn out. Instead, you are grounded in the belief that the universe knows what's best for you, and that things will unfold in divine timing. The practice of surrendering the outcome also teaches patience. Sometimes we want things to happen quickly, and when they don't, we become frustrated or anxious. But surrendering means understanding that everything has its own timing. What may seem like a delay could actually be the universe preparing you for something greater. By letting go of impatience and trusting that everything is happening at the right time, you allow yourself to move through life with greater ease. Another key aspect of surrendering the outcome is that it helps you cultivate detachment. This doesn't mean that you're indifferent or that you stop caring about your goals. It means that your sense of happiness and fulfillment is not tied to a particular outcome. You no longer rely on external results to determine your sense of worth or success. Instead, you find contentment in knowing that you're taking inspired action and allowing the universe to guide the rest. Surrendering the outcome is about releasing control and trusting in the greater plan that the universe has for you. It's about doing your part, then stepping back and allowing the flow of life to unfold in its perfect way. When you surrender, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities that exist. And often, what comes into your life is far greater than anything you could have planned or imagined. In this state of trust and surrender, you find peace, knowing that whatever happens, you are exactly where you're meant to be. Growth often comes with discomfort, and trusting in that process is essential to personal transformation. Many of us strive for success, happiness, and fulfillment, yet we expect the journey to be smooth and free of challenges. But the reality is, the most profound growth happens in the moments of discomfort, struggle, and uncertainty. When you trust that these difficult times are not only necessary but integral to your evolution, you begin to see them as opportunities rather than setbacks. The discomfort you experience in life is not a sign that things are going wrong. On the contrary, it is often an indication that something within you is shifting, that you are being pushed beyond your current limitations to grow into a new version of yourself. Think about it. When you're comfortable, you're not growing. You're staying within the confines of what you know, what is familiar and what feels safe. Growth requires you to step out of that comfort zone, to enter the unknown, where challenges and obstacles naturally arise. Take, for example, a seed that is planted in the soil. For that seed to grow into a strong, flourishing plant, it must first break through its shell. That process of breaking through is not easy. It requires effort. And from the outside, it may seem destructive. But it's that very process of breaking that allows the seed to expand and become what it is meant to be. In the same way, the challenges and discomforts you face are breaking you open, allowing you to grow into your true potential. When you encounter difficulties, it can be tempting to want to avoid or escape them. But by running away from discomfort, you are running away from your own growth. Trusting the process means understanding that discomfort is a catalyst for change. It is not something to fear, but something to embrace. The pain you experience is not meaningless. It is part of the journey toward becoming the person you are destined to be. Every setback, every challenge, and every uncomfortable experience is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for the next stage of your life. Often we resist growth because it feels uncertain. We cling to what we know, even if it's limiting or unfulfilling, simply because it feels familiar. But growth requires a leap of faith. It requires you to let go of what is comfortable and trust that there is something greater on the other side. This doesn't mean you will always understand why things are happening the way they are in the moment. Sometimes the lessons in growth aren't immediately apparent. But when you look back, you often realize that the most challenging periods of your life were the ones that taught you the most, that helped you evolve in ways you couldn't have predicted. Trusting that growth requires discomfort also means accepting that you don't have to have it all figured out right now. It's okay to feel uncertain, confused, or even lost at times. These feelings are part of the process. You're not supposed to have all the answers immediately, because growth is a gradual unfolding. It's a journey that requires patience, persistence, and trust. The more you allow yourself to be present in the discomfort, the more you will grow from it. It's important to recognize that growth isn't always linear. There will be moments when it feels like you're moving forward, and then there will be times when it feels like you're taking steps backward. But even in those moments when you feel like you're regressing, trust that growth is still happening. Sometimes stepping back is part of the process that allows you to gather new insights, strengthen your resolve, and approach your challenges from a new perspective. Trusting that growth requires discomfort is about shifting your mindset. Instead of viewing challenges as obstacles, see them as opportunities. Instead of fearing discomfort, embrace it as a sign that you're evolving. Life is not meant to be a straight path of ease and comfort. It's a dynamic, ever-changing journey where the most beautiful transformations happen in the midst of challenge. So when you encounter difficulties, trust that they are there to serve you, to help you grow, and to bring you closer to the person you are meant to become. Embrace the discomfort, knowing that it is temporary, but the growth it inspires is lasting. And trust that on the other side of the discomfort lies a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself.